feeling, dude?
Feeling good, man. Here down in Florida, surviving the pandemic going down here. So I'm just glad that I'm still alive and kicking, you know?
Man, listen, you don't even know the half of that. Oh my God! So we're on this episode. We're going to talk about that Ubisoft Forward reveal and what they showed us and how we kind of felt about it. And we're just going to get right into it, man. So they started off the program with a Watch Dogs Legion short film, which to me was super chaotic and crazy. I loved it. It was cool, like amazingly stylized. It kind of showed a lot of what this game was about. Uh, how did you feel watching it, dude?
Yeah, the short film, it kind of reminded me of like that same anime style from Into the Spider-Verse. Like the
Yeah,
colors like really got you there. Everything was so bright and
yeah,
it felt like everything was gonna like come out the screen, while watching this and it was a lot of shit that was going on in that.
yeah,
And I think that the way they started it off with that short film kind of really helped create the hype for this next installment of Watch Dogs.
yeah. Because you played the first one and the second one? I know you played the second one. We played it together. Have you played the
Mhm.
first one before that?
Yeah, believe it or not, I really did enjoy the first one a lot. I mean, besides the quote unquote the graphical downgrade,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
but I like that game a lot. I think one of my favorite missions I like to do is when you go and try to find the barcode, and then when
Oh,
you line them up, and then you get that message. That
yeah.
was like my favorite part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But when part two came out, and while we played, and I think it's safe to say that we kind of felt the same way. It was like a little lackluster. There was not really a lot of things. I mean, a lot of things in the game were kind of cool. I love the co-op aspect of the second one, but
Yeah.
I felt the second game really didn't live up to the first in a way.
It was better in certain aspects, and then kind of a step back in others. I haven't seen or have not heard of anything multiplayer based in this one as far as co-op or even like a competitive mode. But from what I love the aspect of multiple protagonists in the game. You can be anybody, you can recruit anybody. It's thousands upon thousands of missions, just origin quests alone. So I think I did read something about them delaying the game to make sure that they can get all this stuff in there and make sure it was good. So it's something that we all enjoyed. What I've seen so far, it looks like something I would definitely enjoy, man. This is a great place for Ubisoft to go with a Watchdog game.
Yeah, I think Watch Dogs 3 or Legions is I think it's a definitely good reboot in a way. It needed this type of gameplay to revitalize that franchise, especially since part two was kind of weak sauce in a
Yeah,
way. I love the aspect where, like you say, you could recruit anybody in the game, and whoever you recruit kind of have their own side missions and whatnot,
yeah,
and they also have their own special unique abilities, and that's what I like about that game. And I mean, I can't wait to play this game.
yeah. And what another thing before we go to the next one, it's definitely a different feel because remember, like the first one, I forgot where that one took place, was kind of gritty in its own way. The second one was, what we would look at as California, like Silicon Valley, and it was a lot. It was bright, it's colorful, but it wasn't its own character. This one being in London and different parts of London and giving it an awesome feel. It seems like each area is its own character in the game. It allows for it gives it's kind of this GTA feel of wherever you are, the aspects of that area is just a part of that character. It gives it's as much personality as the people you're playing with.
Hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to it. They gave us a release date of October 29th. I can't wait. That's on the list now. It goes right on the list.
That's it. I'm marking that on the calendar.
We're marking out right there. So the next one they showed was the reveal for the Brawlhalla mobile game, which I've never played the console version of it. I think it's on console and PC.
Mm.
and it doesn't interest me at all. It kind of looks like a Smash clone as an outsider. So me seeing this was kind of like, okay, we can wait out. What's next?
Yeah, I mean, it looks cute from what I've seen. Very cartoony. I mean, the sprites are awesome. It kind of reminds me of Shantae. That's
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
platformer.
yeah. It
And
does stylistically.
yeah, so stylistically, I can't even
You got
speak.
it.
I'm sorry.
You're in it. You'll get it.
Yeah, well, the style. I mean, it looks very very good.
Yeah,
But something about those type of games. I mean, it doesn't really catch my attention though. I think it's a good party game.
probably.
It's good like if you're gonna go play with friends or whatnot, and you could just go and chill and be like pop it on and just have fun with it, which
Hmm.
is cool. But for the type of games I like to play, more linear in a way, that's something that I might pass.
Yeah. And then they gave us a trailer for Might and Magic Era of Chaos. It looks like a mobile RPG. And in my notes I got here is just meh. And that's another thing where I think they could have left that out of there and just kind of and just I feel like there are certain things that like all these companies have done in their reveals, and they've put out some bangers, one after another, and then they'll put in some that you really don't care about, and those things could have been just released into the ether somewhere else. Like just put it on your social media page, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just throw a trailer on there and use this platform for those games that we're really going to hit. Like we're really going, like people like us are really going to be into. I understand, like maybe it's for pacing, and they are getting a lot of people playing these games, so they want to look to get everybody involved. But I kind of feel like there are certain games like the Brawlhalla reveal in this one that could have been put on just a trailer on a YouTube page, and we could have had two other games here that might have been better.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely pushing the mobile aspect of it, and especially for Might and Magic. I mean, from what I've seen, like you said, with the trailer and whatnot, it looked like a strategy RPG game. But something that I really didn't really, I don't really care to play, because I'm more, like I said, more traditionalist. I love being at my house and actually being in front of the TV with a console. But
Yeah,
if you're
that's
a
why
big mobile,
that's why the Switch wasn't working for you as far as
yeah.
like you keep it at home all day, no
See, but
problems.
but the Switch, man, the Switch is a system that'll trick you though. Even though it's a console, but you could take it anywhere. So
Yeah,
it's like you can pick and choose how you like it. So that's
yeah,
why that console is doing good.
yeah.
But for Might and Magic, something for me, I don't really see myself playing it. So I could give it two shits up or two shits down. I could care
Yeah,
less.
yeah. Then after that we got a trailer for Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, which the first time when I saw it, the first thing I thought of was Team Fortress. This is stylized. It looks exactly like a Team Fortress game. Stylistically, of course. I don't and it's a cute little trailer, but other than that, nothing about gameplay, just something to announce the game.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got the vibe. It felt almost like a Fortnite-ish in a way. It felt like you could just get one of these characters and just it being like it felt like it was like an open world type deal where you could just go and fight and whatnot. It definitely cartoony style. But I think it looks like it might have its own like battle royale thing from what the trailer looks
Yeah,
like it.
possibly.
So.
Everybody's coming out with one. And speaking of battle royale,
Mhm.
which is a segue into battle royale, Hyperscape. Ubisoft actually announced this last week. Put out a couple of announcement trailers. Had a couple of interviews out there about Hyperscape, and it's their new battle royale game. And that entire presentation was literally just showing how different it was going to be from all these other battle royale games and even just multiplayer arena games. out here. The game, at first glance, the game looks really good. It looks like fun to play. Uh, I definitely see this more in an esports tournament feel, the way Overwatch is, the way Rainbow Six Siege is, um, and the way kind of like what Gears and other games are doing right now in the esports thing. I definitely see this game there soon.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of these battle royale games, man, and Hyperscape is a good example of the many games we're probably gonna see down the road.
Yeah, yeah,
But definitely it for competition wise, I mean, yeah, it's good if you like that competitiveness feel to it. I
yeah.
mean, a game like that, like I said, doesn't really call to me, when I saw it, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I don't even want to play this game because it doesn't like really catch my attention. But a lot of people do. A lot of people like these type of
Yeah,
games,
they're
and
fun to play, man, and they're really like I told you when we were watching this together. You know, they're games that I won't play, but I can understand why people love this stuff. And you know, like going to our first Overwatch tournament in at the Barclays Center, and to see like we went to the finals, and to see a completely packed out Barclays Center, and how crazy this is, and how fun it was to actually watch these guys at a professional level play this game. I love it, and it definitely again. I think that opened my eyes to more of that competitive esports world, and I started watching a lot more of it, and it got me actually into the game. The next one we're going to talk about, which is the Rainbow Six Siege vignette, which was literally just Ubisoft thanking everybody for sticking with them as far as Rainbow Six Siege goes. There were a lot of issues going on when the game had first dropped, but now it's one of the top competitive games out there. Those tournaments are awesome to watch. They're fun, man. It kind of makes me go like, oh, I wish I would have gotten into this game,
mm.
as a player. But again, watching these pros play, man, it's an amazing thing, dude.
I mean, yeah. Funny thing you mentioned Rainbow Siege. I remember I went to my local Target and I remember around that time, I guess the division was coming out, but I guess
Mm-hmm.
it came out like a month later.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any better, so I saw the new Tom Clancy game, and I'm like, could this be it? So I picked it up, and the minute I took it home, put that shit on, I'm like, this ain't the fucking game I wanted. The fucking first person shooter game. What the fuck did I just purchase? I quickly ejected that shit out of my PS4, put that fucker right back into the box. Next day I went there, be like, yo, I want my money back. And that's what they
Not what
did.
you were looking for.
Nah, not
No,
at
not
all,
what you're
man.
looking for.
Not
It's a
at
good game
all.
though. Like it's definitely when everything's up and normal as things can be at that moment, and they start these tournament runs again. Like we
Mhm.
gotta watch a couple, dude. Like they're really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll watch a tournament. I think I'd rather see I guess the engagement between the two teams going at it.
Yeah,
But as far as me personally playing it, I'll be like, how I can't do it.
yeah,
Maybe a couple of few beers in my system, maybe, but I don't really, I don't really feel that game. But it's nice to say that they appreciate us for playing the game.
yeah,
Even if I didn't
yeah,
play it.
yeah. Definitely, the money's there. Like where's that money?
Yeah, exactly.
And but the thing is, this is a game they've continued, like For Honor. They've continued to support since day one. They've listened to their fans. They've made sure that everyone's concerns are heard, and they've balanced everything out in such a way. Like Rainbow Six is a huge game, so
But you see, but
I'm
that's
not
what I.
surprised to see this.
But that's what I like. I mean, I give them that much because if you put out a product and you're proud of said product, you want to make sure that everybody is gonna like what they purchase.
Hmm.
And when you listen to the fan base and you actually hear their concern, and then you implement it
Yeah,
on the updates, that shows a lot. That it's of course it's about making money, but at the same time, it's being passionate and loving what you put out there.
Exactly.
It's,
Exactly.
mhm.
So then after that, Yves Guillemot came out, which of course, he's the big head of UB, and he announced that another one of these forwards are coming, and then he ended the reveal with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I'll let you start off, dude. Like, how, looking at what we saw and how they literally broke the game down, like, what's your takeaway from it?
Well, I mean, watching Valhalla, it's definitely a big difference than with the Assassin's Creed game that I'm accustomed to playing
Mm-hmm.
with Ezio and whatnot. I think with this game is definitely different. It feels like in a way like it's more of a, yeah, like almost like RPG-ish in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It has its these the strategy element to it where you could control your, I guess, your army, and when you invade these villages,
Yeah.
and then you could actually rebuild them and whatnot. And it's I like the combat system, especially when you do like certain kills. The camera will pan close, and it'll definitely show you the killer shot and stuff. But I like the fact that you could choose between two people, I believe.
Yeah, it's the same protagonist, but you can choose a male or female gender.
hmm so I think if it might have good replay value if you want to like do one then the other.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely it's something that I would definitely buy. Me being since I have them all on the PS4, I'll keep it consistent on the PS4 front. But if but if I had to choose, especially with the newer generation consoles, games being $70, I mean, I'd rather buy it for the Xbox One and get that free update.
Yeah, I forgot to even mention Phil Spencer came on before this and announced that Valhalla will be a part of the smart delivery system that the Series X is providing. Um, I just to get into that for 2 seconds, I think that's a brilliant move that Microsoft is doing again, where they're easing the transition into the new generation. Um, it seems like all these moves, when we're talking about like smart delivery, the peripheral aspect of things, it seems like they're really doubling down on this compatibility thing. Like, I think that it's like, imagine a whiteboard on a wall and compatibility is in the middle of it, and outside of all of the obvious things, power and all these things that this console is looking to do, speed and processing, like, as far as software is concerned, as far as the peripherals are concerned, they really double down on making it easy for us to transition all these games into a new generation.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about Microsoft, and I know we had that conversation before, is I like that they're more consumer friendly. Like if you don't have to get the Series X right away,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why that smart delivery system is genius,
Yeah.
and then when you see that they're pushing that and that they definitely want you to get the newer system, but when they say ease, they really mean we're gonna make it easy for you. So if you don't want to pay $70 for a game and you still want, and if you could pay $60 for the Xbox One, we're gonna give you the free update no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and that speaks volume, especially
Yeah. Yeah.
in the economy that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
$10, you'd be like, oh, what's $10? But if you look at it, that's a lot of money, especially if you buy, two games that's $20. You'd be like, it's definitely a
Well,
big
it's not even
jump.
$10. If you really look at it, it's 130 because you're paying on just base price. Forget about taxes and everything. You're paying
Right.
$60 for one game, and then if you were going to buy for another system, for the new gen,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing that the games are going to be $70, it's $130 coming out your pocket, and it makes you not not want to buy these games. Like, it's one or the other. And if you don't have an Xbox Series X and you're playing a game, and in the middle of that game you go out and buy a Series X, the fact that I can take my save, and everything to this new console is genius. And let's not act like Sony's not doing the same thing. I just don't think that they're doing it they're not doing it with everything. There's a select number of games that are going to do it where Microsoft seems to be they want to do it with all games. And they've put out a list already of the games that have come out that they're planning on being part of the smart delivery program. And more games keep getting added. So again, it's them doubling down on compatibility, man. They're making the transition easy. I love that aspect of things, man. But speaking of Microsoft too, next week, the 23rd, is their reveal. It's their second inside Xbox, and there's some rumors going around of what they're going to reveal. What would you like to see coming out of the next inside Xbox from Microsoft?
Well, first of all, I think I want to see how much that damn Series X is going to be, how much it's going to cost, because we're going in July and this is coming out in November. So,
Yeah,
I mean, there's not a lot of time. So they need to tell us. Forget what Sony is doing. I mean, they're going to play it safe. They're going to wait till what Microsoft is going to say how much their
yeah,
system is go, but someone has to go first,
yeah,
and I think that, you know, you just put it out there. Give us whatever it is. Give us time for us to save the money, and
yeah.
that way we could go up ahead of our business and prepare for when November comes.
Exactly.
And two, what I'm hoping also to see is more, at least more gameplay, more exclusives at least.
Hopefully.
I want to see what else do they have to offer, because like I said, Sony is already off the bat, and they're already showing us like, hey, we're gonna
Hmm.
make sure if you're gonna buy this system, it's gonna be worth it. So we're throwing
Yeah.
you exclusive here, exclusive there, and Microsoft, they'll just throw us, hey, exclusive here, smart delivery here,
Hmm.
another exclusive here, and then that's it. And it's like you said, it's if I'm gonna shell out, let's say, $4.99 for a system, I want to make sure that I'm gonna have enough games to play it on instead of it being a paperweight.
Yeah, that's the thing. To add on to what you said, because you said it. We know we're going to get Halo Infinite. We know that for a fact. Um, they'll probably talk about the new Gears 5 stuff. The Coalition announced the new operation, which went up today, and 6 new characters, 3 new stages, some other things. They'll probably second that next week. So just in case people don't know now, they'll know after this. Uh, I'm hoping to see more. It's not even about seeing more gameplay from what they've announced already. I want to see some new stuff with gameplay. So let's see some new IPs. Let's see what your studios that you've bought have have been working on, and let's get the party started, man. Let's make it where I kind of want to have a difficult decision, which is weird to say, but you kind of want to sit there and be like, oh, okay, which way do I go? Which is great because that means you have more options to play great games. And at the end of the day, like that's what it's really about for me. It's about being, no matter which system I get, I just want to play great games. I want to have a great experience with them. So, Microsoft needs to step their game up. We talked about this on our first show. They need to step their game up. I hope they do it this time. And I hope that Sony comes out and gives us a price point as well. So, we can actually get ready for this new generation.
Yeah, I mean, it's and they gotta step it up now, and who knows? I mean, let's see what this Inside Xbox is gonna give us. Maybe they might give us a surprise and be like, you know what, we finally bought WB Games, and they locked down Batman as an exclusive.
God, that would help. That would put them in a really good position. Sony's buying a lot of companies. They bought a company out of China recently. They're buying companies, man. They're making great decisions. Microsoft has to be seen as the same. Buy
Mhm.
some big companies, get some big IPs on your side. To make something like if you buy WB games, you get Mortal Kombat, and now that puts Mortal Kombat on your side as an exclusive title along with Killer Instinct. Um, we don't know what's with Street Fighter 6 is coming. I don't know if that's going to be exclusive to PlayStation like Street Fighter 5 was, but you want to be ready for that stuff. You want to have Killer Instinct is a great game and it did well enough, but it doesn't do Street Fighter numbers. It doesn't do Mortal Kombat numbers. You need a game that's going to give you, if it's going to be in the fighting game community and it's going to be at EVO and all these tournaments, you want a game that'll put you that puts you in that category. And if the rumors are true and they do announce that they bought WB Games, more power to them. That's more great gaming for us. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I hope they do. Like I said, I like to see, two companies competing and whatnot. It just means that they're both trying to get our money, so which is good because I believe that I would like to see from this next generation console would be a battle of the exclusives. Like, we got this here. Oh no, well we got this. Well, we got this here. Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
got Spider-Man. Well, guess what? We just got Batman. So, we they have to entice us and be like,
Yeah.
you have a decision to make.
Yeah.
Which way do I go? Do I go the Sony route or do I go the Xbox route?
And that'll be great. I would love to see that. Let's get some real competition in here. Like this current generation we're in, Microsoft lost by a mile and more. Like they got whipped. And if you've paid attention as a fan, we all know why that's happened. But this is the time for them to kind of reboot. This is their reboot. This is Phil Spencer's first console, like full-on console release, brand new console release, and not a new SKU of an old system. Let's, good luck to them, obviously, but let's see some good competition because the more competition that we have there and the greater it is, the more we as customers and gamers, we it favors us. We come out on top and all that.
Yeah, because even when it came to the PS3 and 360, both systems had a lot of games under their library,
Mm-hmm.
and with this generation console, there really hasn't been that many. Sony leading the forefront with the exclusive, but like I said before, there wasn't not a lot of AAA games. There were a lot of indie games, which
Mm-hmm.
helped this generation cycle. But besides that, it was a lot of nothing in between. Like right now, we got Ghost of Tsushima coming out Friday,
Friday.
and that's the last of the Sony exclusives. So
Yeah.
that's it.
That's it. And I cannot wait to play that game. I'm so hyped, man. I am super hyped.